Have a lot on our local sports and international sports. But on our local sports, we have motocross, beach soccer, FUFA elections, the CAF Confederations Cup, KCC concentrating on the game they have away in Nigeria, and of course a lot on our local sports, including the Bombers, who traveled last week Thursday evening to play in Congo Brazzaville, the qualifiers for the World Championship in Germany later this year. And also on our local sports, we have the the Africa Netball Championship that's on here in Uganda from the 23rd to the 30th of this month. Uganda is playing alongside other African countries here, and Team Malawi has already jetted in. They came yesterday night. I am not alone. I'm Alice Namatovu, your host. Peter Otai is here in studio with me. Peter Otai, the Jazzy Black, the Paida Black Angels?
Yeah, Paida Black Angels Soccer Club.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was very fine. Actually, I can say was blessed to travel all the way to Arua to witness the action between KCCA up against the Paida Black Angels that actually was played on a Thursday. Though the Paida did manage to lose that, but also the love and spirit that I actually witnessed in Arua that day is what actually made me buy the jersey for the Paida Black Angels, and that's the reason as why I'm putting it on. Okay,
we'll start with motocross. I know we have a lot of activity around the Uganda Cup. Of course, KCCA winning, and now they are calling themselves Salongo and everything.
Yes, they're the Jogos.
But before we get to that, we have foreign teams that have jetted in already for motocross, and of course, more countries are expected for the Pearl of Africa Rally.
Yeah, Pearl of Africa Rally that is actually coming up very soon is one of the events that actually has lifted, I think, the motorsport life in Uganda very high, because if you look at most of the drivers, they would like to come and take part in the Pearl of Africa Motor Rally. I've seen very many drivers from East and Central Africa, South Africa coming down to compete for owners when it comes down to Motor Rally. And it is the Pearl of Africa Rally that actually also took the life of Karim Hiruji. If you do remember, he actually lost his life in the Pearl of Africa Motor Rally. So it is a rally that is very, very special for those that actually that managed to take part in any motor rally. It's one rally that is very special.
Peter Otai, some of the foreign crews that have come in already, Kenya has Jasprit Kathe and Gadip Sai Mandhia. Bahrain, Drew Starrock, Diraj Kate, and Hiraz Ismail. Zambia, Leroy Gomez, Clevan Gomez. Rwanda has Jean-Claude Gakwaya, Yoto Fabrice. Belgium has a representative already in Giancarlo Davite.
Yes. Yeah, like I said before, it is one rally that actually has had very many drivers coming through, and you've just managed to read some drivers all the way from Kenya, some coming in all the way from Rwanda, and of course one coming in all the way from Belgium. He's actually Belgian, but I think he's driving, if I'm not very much mistaken, he's driving using a Ugandan, because last season he was driving using a Ugandan license. I don't know what license he's having right now. That is Creditis Fiditis, because he's one guy that actually drove at one time using a Rwanda license, then shifted to a Uganda license. So I don't know what kind of license he's having right now, but it's a special event. There is one person that you need to watch out for, that is Hassan Alwi. He's the one who managed to win the last edition of the Pearl of Africa Motor Rally. Hassan Alwi, he managed to win the just concluded event, I think that was on last month in Kayunga. That is Alwi. So he's one driver to watch out for when it comes down to the Pearl of Africa.
So Team Uganda, how strong are we?
We are very strong. We're lining up, I can say, very well. Hassan Alwi will be the driver we shall be relying a lot on. Ronald Sebuguzi and the rest will also be some drivers to actually watch out for. So we have over 30 plus drivers who have already registered for this year's edition of the Pearl of Africa Motor Rally. And since it's at home, I think all owners or all eyes will actually be on the Ugandan drivers, because they know the routes very well, and I believe they'll be giving their whole when it comes down to the event.
Okay, we have the semi-finals, quarterfinals of the beach soccer League going on. And in the quarterfinals, YMCA defeating Kabalagala Rangers 9-4, Moobs 7-4 against Thomas, Nkumba Select 12, KIU 5, Mutesa Royal University 5, St. Lawrence 4, and in the semi-finals, Moobs are defeating YMCA 7-4, Nkumba Select 4, Mutesa Royal University 4, and of course Mutesa Royal University won 2-1 on penalties. So defending champions are out.
Yeah, that's very true. So it's the beauty of this year's edition of the Beach Soccer League that is currently going on. You realize that if you look at how things have actually panned through in the semi-finals, Moobs managed to beat YMCA. YMCA actually went on to surprise me with the kind of, I can say, football they have been displaying of recent, most especially not only in the university, not only in the university league, but also they have been performing very well in beach soccer. Yeah, so they're playing very, very well. Unfortunately, they had to lose to Moobs, the record champions of beach soccer. So you realize that Moobs actually put up more spirit to go down and perform. Then in Nkumba Select, actually going draw with Mutesa, and Mutesa winning in penalties 2-1. Very disappointed in the sun. They actually call themselves the Beach Boys. In Nkumba University, the Beach Boys were beaten there by a little known Mutesa One, who have slowly been upgrading with their beach soccer.
And they have been improving.
Yes, they've been improving all the time, Mutesa One. So Nkumba, very disappointed that they were beaten by Mutesa One. I think to me that's the loss of the season. Most disappointing loss of the season. Defending champions in Nkumba beaten by a small-known Mutesa One.
In the semi-finals, they dominated KIU 12-5.
Yeah, that's it. The Beach Boys, they play very well, but
what happened?
I don't know exactly what happened. I think they switched off. That's why I'm saying that it will be the disappointment of the season. Nkumba beaten by Mutesa One. To me, that is the disappointment of the season. And if I was the coach of Nkumba, I think I would have resigned. I would have resigned because that's a very big shame.
So beaten by defending champions out at the semi-final stage. What are we going to expect in the final?
Yeah, I think Moobs will actually go down to win this one. They have a lot of experience at playing at the finals of beach soccer. Mutesa One Royal don't have the experience. I think they are now the underdogs. We have seen a couple of matches where underdogs go down and beat the favorites. But I think I'll go with pedigree, just like how Juventus lost to Real Madrid at the Champions League. I'll go with pedigree. I'll go with Moobs actually beating Mutesa One Royal. Okay,
we do have a lot of drama at Fufa House.
Yes.
Magogo, if it stays like this, if Mujib Kasule is eliminated, we will have Moses Magogo as the sole. Well, he will be unopposed.
Yes.
But do you think there will be a change in anything that Mujib Kasule will stand as the other delegate?
Well, Mujib last week had actually gone to pick his papers.
He failed the initial stage.
Yes, he missed a few things. I think he didn't have signatures from delegates. That one he did not have. I think also he didn't have copies of some documents, a few of those documents, because he went there to pick up his form. But unfortunately, because of this and that, he failed to complete the registration. But of course, this is the ceremony for the current
is Magogo coming in.
Yes, this is Magogo, who actually had a guard of honor. Some of his fans actually welcoming him to go down and pick the forms and showing him the kind of support that is Engineer Moses Magogo.
Me and you might have our differences about this man, but I think luck is also on his side.
Yes.
Cranes, after so many years, is back at Africa Cup of Nations, and we look like the campaign for Cameroon is underway, and Uganda is going strong.
Yes, Magogo has actually been blessed. I have to say, has been blessed and has been very lucky, because the success that gentleman is currently enjoying right now was built on the foundation of Lawrence Mulindwa.
Yeah.
It was Lawrence Mulindwa who actually built that foundation. And one thing I like with Moses Magogo, he will always admit, he won't say that this success
I don't have the financial support.
He will say this success I'm riding on is not me who built it.
Yeah.
He actually admitted that yes, the success is riding on actually began from the
structures that Lawrence Mulindwa built in place.
Yeah, because it was Lawrence Mulindwa who actually had faith in Magogo and left Magogo to actually take over after him.
Yes.
So that's the kind of faith I'm talking about.
First, he groomed him.
Yes, but this gentleman in Mujib Kasule had a little bit of issues. I have to admit, yes, he has been an administrator in the league.
I think he was also, I think, FUFA vice president.
Yes, that's why
during Mulindwa's
Yes,
time.
that's why I'm saying he was an administrator in the league. He has a club that is Proline Football Club, so he knows exactly the dynamics of how football is run. And I think the kind of experience that he has, I think, can be put in very well. So if we can have these two working together in case one of them loses, but the two can come together and work as a unit, I think it will be very good for Uganda.
So come August, you're thinking we'll have 2 nominees, and most likely it will be Magogo staying in office.
In case Mujib Kasule can actually finish everything. One thing...
So we had sometime when Chitende, the stadium was unveiled, and we were thinking Lawrence Mulinda was coming back, but it did not happen.
No, it did not happen.
He said, I do not want to be involved anything concerning FUFA and football around this country. I have my club and I have my school. We're doing way better.
You can actually be involved in football, not as a president, but you can actually be involved in football as a patron. Because if you look at Lawrence Mulindwa, he's a honorary president. He's honorary president, which is actually, I can say, a position which is very high. So you dropping from the honorary president to FUFA president is a little bit, to me, a position dropped. It's just like dropping from chief accountant to assistant accountant. That's what, to me, I believe. But all in all, I think there is a lot to talk about. Yes, Magogo is not safe because there is investigation
out there.
Yes, that's why I did this. There is investigation on him about World Cup tickets, the sale of World Cup tickets.
Yeah.
So
Sewanyana coming up with these accusations.
Yes, Sewanyana went to court. And FIFA released a statement saying that, yes, they've opened up investigations onto this alleged sale of tickets. So let's wait and see whether this might not affect, that is, the campaign of engineer Moses Magogo here and there. But we expect I can say, a very, very good campaign. Yes, Magogo has done a lot of groundwork. He has done a lot of groundwork as I speak right now.
I mean, Cranes Namutima is way up there.
Yeah, it's not only about Cranes Namutima, because if you look at the groundwork that Magogo has done compared to Mujib Kasule and anyone who would come to compete against Magogo, you realize that Magogo's groundwork, his kakuyege, like they call it, the campaigning is actually superior than anyone who will be coming through, because Magogo has been everywhere. He's on social media, he's actually everywhere. So that's why many people believe he could
came out and put something on social media, on WhatsApp, saying engineer Moses Magogo is a Villa diehard.
Well, that I do not know.
He says Mujib Kasule is a
KCC diehard. Yes, yes.
So he says everyone should go and support a Villa diehard.
Well, that is his personal point of view.
Misaga is not coming
to
represent. So we should all go and support Moses Magogo.
Well, that is his personal point of view. Other people have their other points of view, so I don't want to come up and say, go vote this one, go vote the other. There is a reason as to why Mbide is actually agitating for the voting of engineer Moses Magogo, because maybe he's looking for a position. But if you look at the ESCOM that was actually released by Moses Magogo last week, even does not have Mbide in the ESCOM there. That is his committee that he will be working with to run football matters of Uganda for the next 4 to 5 years. There is no Mbide, there is no Ogwell. You know, that he has made a couple of shifts here and there, a couple of changes here and there to his ESCOM committee that shall actually run Ugandan football if he wins.
Still keeping with football, KCCA went north. They went up country and played against the Paida Black Angels.
It was the finals of the Uganda Cup.
Mrs. the executive, the CEO.
Jennifer Musisi.
Yes, Jennifer Musisi was on a private plane to go to support his #1 club.
When I see those pictures,
and KCCA,
when I see those pictures, I remove my jacket and actually give respect to the club Paida Black Angels there, because Absa was very much impressed. But anyway, you talk about everything there is to talk about when it comes down to the actual game proper. Number one, I reached there on Thursday very early in the morning. That is, the match was at 4 p.m. I reached as early as 7 a.m. But the excitement that was from the Arua Park itself, that is here in Kampala, was actually so much in a way that vuvuzelas were actually blown from the park here in Kampala, inviting people to go down and watch the game in Arua. Then when you reached Arua, the excitement was even more, because the people of Arua were not only celebrating that is the Paida Black Angels for reaching the final, but they actually brought up what we call brotherhood in football, because Arua is a stronghold for the Onduparaka side, and of course Paida Black Angels comes a little bit distant, about 1.5 kilometers away from Arua. So for me, the beauty of the supporters of Paida Black Angels is the one that actually grabbed my attention of the day. That's the reason that's why I have to say, I have to give the Paida guys some respect, put on their jersey and actually come and sit down and enjoy the game.
FUFA president was not.
He was not there. He was not there.
He was not there.
No, he wasn't
Busy
there.
campaigning to be re-elected in office.
Yeah, the
numbers were surprising.
True.
KCC won 2-0, but you can't take anything away from the teams from the north, Odum Paraka and Paida Black Angels.
Yeah, Paida Black Angels currently, to me, I can say, showed a very good spirit, most especially at the start. They played very well at the beginning, but they lost concentration later on when the goal was scored by Musei Serunkuma, the 34-year-old striker of KCC. The laxity of concentration in the midfield together with the back is the one that gifted that is KCC the win. But all in all, the boys in black and white there you see played very, very good football. But unfortunately, that laxity of concentration costed them. I have to say, KCC looked the much better side in the match because they were very comfortable.
So this should be an example for everyone in this country that when you put things right administratively,
yes,
football can run to the T.
Yeah, true, very much. I have to say, Alice, I was very much disappointed by the organization of this final.
Yeah.
I will give you my reasons as why. Okay, KCC here playing in the Confederations Cup. If you go back to the pictures of the Confederations Cup, to the Uganda Cup, the Uganda Cup, there were very many things that I thought were handled poorly from the point of view as a journalist and also as a sports person who has studied sports. Number one was the organization. You see, if you take an event like the Uganda Cup to West Nile, the committee that is supposed to organize that event are supposed to come from West Nile.
Yeah.
Period. There is no doubt about that. But if you go down and look at the final of the Uganda Cup, the committee that actually handled was not from West Nile.
Kampala.
It was from Kampala. The people that were at the gate getting the money were KCC people.
Yeah.
Were KCC people. You know, I know them. They were even putting on KCC uniforms. They were seated, tearing the tickets and receiving the money. So you ask yourself, really, does West Nile have no people that can just receive money?
Because both teams had a stake in this.
Yes, they have.
Paida had their ratio at the gates.
Yes.
FUFA had their ratio, and KCCA had their ratio.
Exactly. On the other element also was on the part of awarding the trophy. You see, when you take, again, I will use the word, when you take an activity to West Nile or to Teso or anywhere, make sure that give respect to the people of the area.
Yeah.
You see, when the trophy was given out to KCCA, the trophy was actually given out by who? Jennifer Musisi, who is the ED of KCC.
Yeah.
Then other trophies that were given out, Lukwago gave out a trophy. Then I think one person from within FUFA gave out a trophy. Can you believe that?
No single representative from...
They were even seated. They were seated. The MPs of Arua, the MPs from Paida were seated on the VIP wing. But none of them was called to give out the trophy. None of them was actually called to give out a medal. Even the chiefs, because I'm told that Paida is an area with the biggest number of chiefs. Over 20 plus chiefs are in Paida alone. The chiefs were there seated, but none of them was actually called to give out a medal or a trophy.
Okay.
These trophies were given out by, I'm sorry to use this word, people that came from Kampala. The ED of KCCA, Lukwago, the mayor of Kampala. You ask yourself, how does a mayor of Kampala give out a medal or a trophy?
They should have given a chance
in Arua.
Paida.
They should have given maybe the LC5 of Arua, maybe the MP of the area, or maybe the head chief or the king of the area should have given the trophy. So for me,
Pirota is still sticking with KCCA. They are playing away in Nigeria.
Yeah.
CAF Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
Any chances for KCCA coming away with a win?
I don't see a win coming up from there, but maybe I'll see a point, maybe a draw. Yes, Rivers United are a very good side. They managed to beat FUS Rabat 1-0 in Nigeria. Rivers United has actually had its bunch of problems. Of recent, over 100 balls that were given to them by CAF went missing. So those are some of the issues that have actually been affecting Rivers United. Politically, they have their problems, and that problem could actually affect the players psychologically. Yes, KCC have actually been very outstanding. The win in the Uganda Cup that actually gave Mutebi his double-double has actually given them some bit of confidence to go down and maybe win the trophy. But you have to put the element of fatigue, because about 6 footballers of KCCA traveled with the Cranes to go and play in Cape Verde. Then they came down and went down to Arua, about 8 hours journey to Arua to play against Paida Black Angels, another 8 hours back to Kampala. a few training
And
sessions, then Nigeria. So
off to Nigeria.
Yeah, fatigue could actually crop on some of these footballers, 6 footballers: Timothy Awanyi, Benjamin Ochan, Muleme, Derek Insibambi, Seru Kuma. Those are some of the footballers that could be affected by some bit of fatigue. But they are boosted by the return of jersey number 10. That is one gentleman that I love very, very much in Mutiaba. I think he will be one footballer to actually give them some impetus at the midfield and creativity.
Okay, that is what happened around. We have the Confederations Cup. KCCA is a way to represent Uganda,
Yes.
but quickly with international representation, the African Netball Championship that's here in Uganda, Uganda Cranes, the She Cranes, are playing alongside Malawi, Namibia, I think Zambia, Lesotho. These are some of the countries that are going to be playing in the same championship. The main reason why Uganda is hosting this championship is to boost their standings.
Yeah, which is very good. The mere fact that Uganda actually bidded to host these championships and managed to get the nod to host was, to me, a plus for Uganda. But when you look at the hosting of these championships, the girls have been the girls have been complaining of allowances, poor money here and there. Even the organizers, the committee that actually is going to run the championship for the days that begin, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday.
Until Saturday, I was part of their meetings. They did not have finances coming in from the National Council of Sports.
Money has not yet been
Government
released.
had not given their financial support to the Cranes. The players were laid off to go home and pick up a few things, go back in camp. Malawi was here in full swing. They are staying, I think, at Imperial Royale. But Team Uganda is staying somewhere in Namugongo. They are in Namugongo.
Namugongo, which hotel is there? Let me try and remember. Okay, Charlie Wajala.
Yeah.
Charlie Wajala, that is the hotel I think that the Cranes normally sleep in. I won't mention it because of Kalango. To me, it's a little bit of a problem, I have to say, when it comes down to Uganda. We are well known for last-minute things.
And that's what's happening around football.
Yes.
Not football.
It's sports in general. It's sports in general. Sports to me has actually been a little bit sidelined by government, and I will always come and say it on national TV. It is high time that we actually promote sport, because sport is not only for fun, but sports can bring in money. It's the number one
flag bearer for Uganda.
It can bring in money. We are at an era where this government here is trying to promote tourism. Because I'm actually, if I can recall, tourism has gotten a big push. Recently, the president himself was meeting some people at the High Commissioner of UK recently. This week, he talked about tourism, promoting tourism. Now, the netballers who are coming from Malawi, netballers who are coming from Botswana.
There's 8 countries.
8 countries.
Confirmed.
Yes, all these guys are coming here. They are sleeping at very expensive hotels.
The World Netball Federation president
is also here.
Already here.
Yes.
The African Netball Federation president is here too.
That's the reason as to why I'm talking about. Now, these delegates who have come from different countries are actually going to promote our country. When they go back to their country, they will say, look, there is a country called Uganda with very good weather.
Beautiful place.
There is a country in Uganda with beautiful people. There is a country in Uganda.
Green everywhere.
Which, you see, that is what I call promoting Uganda to the outside. Now, these delegates, when they come here, they're not only going to be in their hotels and enjoy. They want to move out. They want to tour. They'll go to the Nile. They'll go to Mabira. They'll go to places to tour. And they'll be leaving money. That's why I'll actually come in and say it is high time. Let's promote tourism in this country, but using sports. Let's use sports. Let's go on and see how we can actually call for such turn. Now we are hosting the African Netball Championship. Plus,
2 months ago, we had the cross country.
The World Cross Country, and everybody spoke about Uganda. Those who watched on UBC, how beautiful Uganda was. Those who were home-seated, they would see the beauty of Uganda at the World Cross Country Championship.
Peter, we have the Bombers that traveled on Thursday to go to Congo, Brazzaville, to represent Uganda, but at the same time, they were representing themselves. Remember, there's that issue of AIBA. You can be able to go and fight as an amateur boxer, but priority for them was the qualifiers for the World Championship in Germany.
Yeah.
So some of the fighters, of course, KCCA had teams. Okay, I won't talk about the other brands as well. There's different individuals who came out to support the national team. The General Secretary, National Council of Sports, flagged off the team that were purely dressed, not in Uganda colors, but Betway jerseys.
Which is wrong.
Very wrong.
Yes.
You're going as Bombers to represent Uganda, but you're dressed up in Betway branded jerseys.
Which is, I will always say, which is wrong. Yes, we have to admit Betway has actually supported the Bombers on their way through.
Yeah.
From the training, Betway has been there. Even when the competition
trials,
was, even when the competition was postponed
yeah.
to a couple of, Betway was always there. So give them credit for coming out to support. But a national team flagged off, putting on a sponsor, that's very, very wrong.
So
I think they should have put on a Uganda. Elite
agencies, and then there was Betway. There was another
it was wrong.
betting company.
It was wrong.
National Council of Sports. I would like to give kudos to the General Secretary. He has financially supported every sports discipline that's affiliated to National Council of Sports.
Yeah.
And specifically, he's very, very concerned about boxing,
yes,
and taking it back to the days when Uganda used to have medals.
Yes, he has. But I think on the element of flagging off is where he actually got it wrong. I'll always say that. He got it wrong. Flagging off the team when they're putting on a different kind of attire. That's very, very wrong. They should have been flagged off putting on the Uganda Cranes jersey. And maybe when the team is at the airport, they can change and put on their lead sponsor jersey. Or even when they're that side, they can put on their sponsors. They're warming up, put on the sponsor.
I think
no worries,
Anthony of Betway is just very clever. He knows where visibility can be gotten at a very,
They are very sharp. Those guys are very sharp. And you can't blame them for that. They actually saw an opportunity and
to get visibility, and there he was.
Yes, you can't blame them. But what actually the Bombers and National Council of Sport did for me was very, very wrong. When you flag off a national team, that national team should be in a national team colors, because you're flagging off the team. You're flagging off the team of the nation to represent the nation.
Okay, we'll give you all the updates about the Bombers and the boxers who went to represent this country in Congo Brazzaville. These are qualifiers for the World Championship in Germany. So Team Uganda, hopefully we can be able to get some representatives there. Stay tuned to UBC, where we inspire Uganda. Me and Peter Otai will be back shortly with what we have on our international sports. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned to UBC, where we inspire Uganda. We had a lot. This is Sports Galore. We had a lot on our local sports, including the African Netball Championship that's here in Uganda from the 23rd. Wednesday, we're starting with a friendly. Malawi is playing against the She Cranes. So everyone who is a sports lover wants to see the She Cranes that went to the World Cup. Of course, there's a new lift to the team. Youngsters are joining into the team. So you will see Team Uganda playing at the Lugogo Indoor Arena. Let's all go support the She Cranes. They are starting on Wednesday, friendly against Malawi, then continue with Namibia, Lesotho, Zambia, and all these other countries. They are all here. 8 countries are here at the same time. We have the Bombers who are away in Congo, Brazzaville. So we will start with what we have on our international sports. Lewis Hamilton branding the fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather ridiculous. He thinks MMA fighting boxing should, fighting a professional boxer, a current WBC heavyweight champion, it's absolutely out of order.
It is really. It's
you see, it's a money-making business, and
it's a different of genres of boxing really, and fighting rather, because if you look up AMN, you realize that it's basically a mixture of martial arts. The other one is, I can say, a boxer. There is no element of martial arts on the other side.
I think this fight
it's totally different.
Is in August in the US,
yes.
I think Las Vegas. And you have the darling of England, McGregor. He doesn't have muscles. He's just one British guy who is very weird. But he's been paid $70 million to go and fight Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather is claiming that they wanted him out of retirement. So this is the time for him to come fight an MMA MMA fighter. And MMA to me is absolutely dangerous.
Like I said before, it is totally different from boxing. Here we're having the element of martial arts mixed with the element of boxing in one totally different kind. I don't know what kind of fight they are going to be fighting in. Is it called boxing or is it called the MMA? That is the question. So what kind of fight are we having? Is it a boxing bout? I don't think if that's basically a boxing bout. But let's wait and see in August, see what kind of fight we shall be having in front of us. So for those who love anyway watching fights, we shall be having a very good time.
Okay, Johan Konta missing out on his first WTA title in England in Birmingham.
Yeah, I have to admit it wasn't very, very good for him. For her, rather. But at the end of the day, I think there is a lot that needs to be put up for them to continue performing very well in future.
Okay, performing in England, of course, you have Wimbledon not too long from now. The women's calendar not looking strong. I think Kaba also withdrew from the Birmingham championship. But this is also like a practice for everybody who is going to be playing at Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon is actually, I would rather go down and prepare for Wimbledon comparing to playing in Birmingham. Yes, Birmingham is in England, so basically maybe you have the same kind of feel ahead of the Wimbledon that gets underway.
It's grass court.
Yeah, it's grass court. Like I said, you'll have that feel of Wimbledon. But I think some of the tennis players have actually gotten a little bit fatigued and tired. They need a couple of days out to rest and get ready for the big event.
Rafa Nadal said, I am not doing anything apart from relaxing on the beach, enjoying some sun. I don't want to play until Wimbledon.
Yeah, which is okay. I'm in very big support because you'll see he has just managed to win a couple of events. Of course, the French Open of recent, which is clay. He's coming to play in a grass court at the Wimbledon, which is totally different. It gives him a little bit of problems here and there. So I think resting and enjoying his life at the beach will actually give him more energy to come down strong to play in the Wimbledon that gets underway very soon.
Okay, Djokovic not sure what's going on in his camp. Rafael Nadal back to form. Andy Murray still holding on to his #1 spot in the world, but this won't be for too long because Rafael Nadal is on form.
Yeah, it won't. Most especially if he goes on to lose in the Wimbledon. That is for Andy Murray. If he loses in Wimbledon, I think his standing will fall. Nadal, if he goes down and win in Wimbledon, I think he will actually improve on his rankings. Then, of course, Djokovic, if he comes on to win at the Wimbledon, which I think he might win because he has the coach that has managed to win the Wimbledon a couple of times in Sampras. So I think, Andre Agassi, I think it will be very good for Djokovic to go down and perform very well. Okay,
we have the International Confederations Cup going on. Of course, people might get confused. Confederations Cup, Africa Confederations Cup, and also the International Confederations Cup. So Confederations Cup is clubs. And then you have International Confederations Cup,
FIFA.
which is
It's FIFA
Confederations Cup,
yeah.
which is countries playing alongside countries. So Africa
Champions,
has Cameroon,
champions of the different
around
continents.
the world,
Yes.
playing. So you have Chile, you have Mexico, you have Russia as the host for the World Cup,
Yes.
and then you have Cameroon representing Africa.
Yes.
You have Germany that has decided to take youngsters.
Yeah, actually Germany, the champions of the world.
World champions.
Yes.
So they've decided to take youngsters. They haven't taken the senior side. They've decided to take the under 23 squad to gain more experience. But for Africa, it's not the same.
No,
Portugal is taking their senior side.
Yeah.
They drew their first game against, I think, Mexico 2-2. But it was a boring game for you.
It was, like I said, it was, for me, we were discussing on the break that I was very disappointed with that Mexico and Portugal game. For me, it was very much boring. And when you go down and look at the Confederations Cup, it's basically a precursor to the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's the opener of the World Cup. The person that hosts the World Cup is the one that actually hosts the Confederations Cup.
So Russia, I think, won their first game. No,
Yes,
they drew.
they
I
did,
think.
yeah,
they
they-
drew their first game. I
yeah.
think between Mourinho and Ronaldo was not good at the time when he was leaving at Real Madrid.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, but I think it's a relationship that can be mended. The mere fact that if
I
he
mean,
can
it's
come
money.
back,
It's money.
Yes,
167 million pounds.
yeah, it is the element of money. And look at this. He's going back to Man United, a team that nurtured him.
Yeah.
He actually owes a lot to Manchester
owes
United.
Alex
So
Ferguson.
and Manchester.
Yeah.
So he doesn't owe a lot to the coach, Jose Mourinho, but he owes
the
a lot
coach there.
to Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United because they are the ones that actually made the real Ronaldo.
Okay, people saying Alex Sanchez is a born winner but needs players around him.
Yeah, true. Very much true. If you look at Alexis Sanchez, when he's
The
playing
game
at
that they
Arsenal Football
played-
Club, he's basically one footballer at Arsenal that drives Arsenal. He's
That
the-
man on the screen was the main man when Chile was playing against Cameroon and destroyed them.
He came in as a sub. He actually came in as a sub. And look at
scored.
this. When he came in, or when he was coming in, when his photo was actually put on the giant screen,
Yeah.
everybody was excited.
Yeah.
So if you say that Alexis Sanchez is actually born a game
winner.
winner and needs footballers to actually work with him, very true. I think to me, Alexis Sanchez is being broken down at Arsenal Football Club. He doesn't get the actual kind of support at Arsenal Football Club. He's one footballer who will give you 110%. But that kind of performance needs to be followed up by somebody who also gives 110%.
Chile is not as football gifted as other countries.
No,
today.
they are.
They are gifted, but when it comes to the World Cup,
Oh, well, the
when
World
it
Cup,
comes to Copa
they
America,
are the champions.
They are the champions
of
but,
Copa America.
But they don't have that feel that we used to have when we were young. Chile has these sort of players. If you look at Mexico, they are 100% depending on the services of Chicharito.
Yeah, you can actually come up and say that, but at the end of the day, I think Chile.
James Rodriguez, the same thing with Colombia.
Yeah, Chile of before and
Is not
Chile
the
of
same
today.
Chile of today.
Yes, because if you look at actually Alexis Sanchez, he reached the goal scoring tally of I've forgotten the name of that Chilean because there was one Chilean who was actually standing with more goals in Chile, and Alexis Sanchez scoring reached the milestone of that person. So you realize that yes, there are few people that actually know the performance of Chile as per now, but I think it is a gifted side, a little bit.
You have leagues that are really fast, like the Premier League,
Yeah.
whereby coaches' careers are being dented at the time, whether they say the goals that were scored against them were offside goals or were genuinely scored.
Well, I think everything has a good part of it and a bad part of it.
But this is going to take away the excitement.
Yes, it will take away the excitement and the
flourishness of the game.
Exactly, the flow, because you have to hold for about a couple of seconds, about 1 minute. You have to hold as the guys are analyzing everything and bring back a response to tell you no goal or yes goal. The element of the screen, yes, it will totally change the game. And to some teams, yes, you may find they could be judged a little bit well because of the technology. Because I have seen goals that have actually been given out or disallowed, and yet they were supposed to be right. I think when Arsenal played against Manchester City in the
And
in the
also
FA Cup,
Jose
in the FA Cup.
Mourinho's era during the time when he won the Premier League with Chelsea.
Yeah.
There was too many goals that were allowed when they were supposed to be disallowed.
But let's wait and see. Let's really wait and see, because the FIFA is trying to experiment this.
Yeah.
Actually, this was begun at the under-23s. Yes, it was at the
When
under-23.
England won
Yes, it was at the under-23 where
under-20s.
this was introduced at the under-23.
Yeah.
Even the element of penalties are changing. If you know,
Yeah.
the penalties are changing, whereby if, let's say, with two
double-take
teams,
the
you
penalty.
double take the
Yeah.
penalty. That means I take one penalty and take again. You understand? So you have to, I take one penalty, then you come and take two. Yeah? So when I take one, I begin with one,
So
you
you
come
do a
in and
double take
yeah,
after.
double take. So that is also coming through to the game of football. So football is changing. Football is growing. So we have a lot of rules that will come and rules will go. There is an element also, they're trying to introduce a white card. There's that white card that they're trying to introduce whereby a player is not, let's say, given a red card straight, maybe he goes out for about 2 to 3 minutes, then comes back into the game. So there is a lot of change coming through.
Peter Otai, what activities we've had in this edition of Sports Galore. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being here. Yourself, myself, and Santos will be back.
Yes, and again, allow me send my happy, I can say, happy congratulations to Paida Black Angels again. I'm very disappointed that some of the talented footballers that they had this season may actually be sold off to other clubs, which is good for the footballer. But again, very bad for the club. Very bad for the club. Some clubs need to hold on their best footballers, but Paida Black Angels does not have the money to hold on some good footballers, and some good footballers will have to go.
Well, this has been an exciting edition of Sports Galore. Once again, go and watch the She Cranes. They'll be playing at the Lugogo Indoor Arena from the 23rd, playing against Malawi, the African champions. So thank you to the producer of the show, Mr. Dean Chibirige, executive producer, and director Othman Sempewa, for making sure we have editions of Sports Galore every Monday. You, the viewers of UBC, thank you so much for making sure that you make us your #1 TV that you watch every afternoon on Monday. More quality programming is on next. Good afternoon.